I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around just a little bit as I move along. Right now I am in Joshua. This is chapter 4. Israel places 12 stones to commemorate crossing of Jordan. Joshua is magnified before Israel as they cross Jordan. After priests bearing the ark pass over, the river returns to its course. Excuse me, my son is in the background here, so. Yeah, leave that alone.
Let's go.
Okay, let us read. And it came to pass, when all the people were clean crossed over Jordan, that the Lord spake unto Joshua, saying, Take you 12 men out of the people, one for every tribe a man, and command ye them, saying, Take you hence out of the midst of Jordan, out of the place where the priest's feet stood firm, 12 stones, and ye shall carry them over with you, and leave them in the lodging place, where ye shall lodge this night. Then Joshua called the 12 men, whom he had prepared of the children of Israel, out of every tribe a man. And Joshua said unto them, Pass over before the ark of the Lord your God into the midst of Jordan, and take ye up every man of you a stone upon his shoulder, according unto the number of the tribes of the children of Israel. That this may be a sign among you, that when your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What mean ye by these stones? Then ye shall answer them, that the waters of Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord when it passed over Jordan. The waters of Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be for a memorial unto the children of Israel forever. And the children of Israel did so as Joshua commanded, and took up 12 stones out of the midst of the Jordan, as the Lord spake unto Joshua, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, and carried them over with them unto the place where they lodged, and laid them down there. And Joshua set up 12 stones in the midst of Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests which bear the ark of the covenant stood. And there they are, and they are there unto this day. Okay, so this is another memorial, a visual memorial to remind people of the miracles of God. In the last chapter, he did tell them, get 12 men, one from each tribe. And now God's saying, okay, you got the men, now get the stones. But it appears that there are two memorials being done here. First, the men take up stones from the river. These aren't just little pebbles, because he says, carry them on your shoulder. These are good-sized stones, probably about the size of a man's head. Pretty good-sized stone, at least that big. Each one grabs one. They bring them up to where the Israelites are going to camp on the west side Jordan after crossing, and they set up a pile of stones. But then Joshua also goes out and he makes a second pile of stones in the river. So we have these two stones, and they're there, these two piles, and they're there. It says, and they are there unto this day. So when the book of Joshua was written, these memorial stones were still there. Whether they're there today, I couldn't say, although it wouldn't surprise me that they were. But even if they were, I'm not sure we would recognize them. So, let us continue. Verse 10. For the priests which bear the ark stood in the midst of Jordan until everything was finished, that the Lord commanded Joshua to speak unto the people, according to all that Moses commanded Joshua. And the people hasted and passed over. And it came to pass, when all the people were clean passed over, that the ark of the Lord passed over, and the priests in the presence of the people. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and half the tribe of Manasseh passed over armed before the children of Israel, as Moses spake unto them. About 40,000 prepared for war passed over before the Lord unto battle to the plains of Jericho. On that day the Lord magnified Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they feared him as they feared Moses all the days of his life. And the Lord spake unto Joshua, saying, Command the priests that bear the ark of the testimony, that they come up out of Jordan. Joshua therefore commanded the priests, saying, Come ye up out of Jordan. And it came to pass, when the priests that bare the ark of the covenant of the Lord were come up out of the midst of Jordan, and the soles of the priests' feet were lifted up unto the dry land, that the waters of Jordan returned unto their place, and flowed over all his banks as they did before. So, one thing I forgot to mention in my last video, because it says in the last chapter that Jordan's waters overflowed during the time of harvest. And this is the rain and possibly snow melting from the mountains, flowing down, swelling Jordan to a very wide state. Jordan normally is a fairly narrow river, kind of like rivers in the western United States. It's only a few feet wide, not a few feet, a few dozen feet wide. It's like, 30, 40 feet wide, I think. But in the harvest time, it swells. The snow melting off the mountaintops, the rain season, it swells the river up, and it becomes very wide. That's why they needed it to be parted so they could cross it more easily. Now the priests, they come up out of the water, and immediately the water starts flowing again. Remember, when they stepped into it, it stopped all the water coming down from the north, which allowed all the water in the south to pass out and dry up the entire riverbed from that point down. Now the water starts flowing again, the river is flowing, and it very quickly again overflows, just like it was before. And this is a sign to the people that Joshua has the same power that Moses did, that God is behind Joshua just as he was with Moses. People didn't look at this and say, oh, well, the ark is what did it, because it was on Joshua's command. Joshua commanded the priests, take the ark in, and the water will part. And then he commanded, bring the ark out, and the water will flow again. It was on Joshua's command. It was not the ark that did it. It was Joshua's authority that did it. People recognized that. Now let us finish this. We only have a few verses left. Verse 19. And the people came up out of Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and encamped in Gilgal, in the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of Jordan did Joshua pitch in Gilgal. And he spake unto the children of Israel, saying, when your children shall ask their fathers in time to come, saying, what mean these stones? Then ye shall let your children know, saying, Israel came over this Jordan on dry land. For the Lord your God dried up the waters of Jordan from before you, until you were passed over, as the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, which he dried up from before us. Shh. For the Lord your God dried up the waters of Jordan from before you, until you were passed over, as the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, which he dried up from before us, until we were gone over. That all the people of the earth might know the hand of the Lord, that it is mighty, that ye might fear the Lord your God forever.
Take it. Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Anyways, so again, the pile of stones is set up as a memorial, as a physical reminder of what God has done in the past. And it's a way of not only reminding the people who have experienced it, but a way of them saying, it's like saying, I can tell you a story. But if I can say, look at this is the proof that my story is true. There's a lot more power in that than there is in just telling a story. That is why the scriptures themselves are so vital, because they are the record, they are the proof of the past. If we were just telling stories, it wouldn't have nearly the power that it does when we have the physical proof. Anyways, I will leave that here, and we're going to get into the conquest of Jericho next. So.